Okay, so for week 3, we are doing block 1, and we need 9 of those. So the pattern is ACAC, and then CBCB, and it's repeated. So we've got 4 rows this way. Well, we got 4 columns and 4 rows. So let's lay that out really quickly. So this is the whole setup for this block. We've got our ACAC, we've got our CBCB, and now I'm just going to chain stitch it. So I'm going to fold this over on itself. And we are going to keep it in this order, and I'm going to sew down all of these without breaking the chain. Then we will add on as we go. Let's do it. I'm just going to use my nails to scratch this into place. Perfect. And pick it up and piece it. So now they are all connected with thread, because I never stopped and clipped the thread. So now we're just going to open it, and I'm going to add the next one. Still not clipping the thread. And I'm going to go down doing the same thing for all of them. I'm just going to make a little stack here. Lift this one up and put this on top of this and bring it over to the sewing machine, and we'll just add the next row. So now we have all three. Now we have all 3 here, all sewn together, didn't break the threads. It's all one piece, and we're just going to do the next thing with this next row. Same thing. And I'm going to just stack these on top of one another. Make sure that they are right sides up and right sides together when you sew them. Nice and simple. Now all of it is sewn together very, very quickly. And so now we need to press the blocks, and it tells us which direction to press our rows. And really, these arrows are telling you which direction to press. It's saying to press towards the C, which is cool because you can press towards the C with all of these and it'll be going in the right direction. This is your C fabric, so we're going to press it this way, this way, this way, this way. When we flip it over, it'll obviously be the opposite. Let's do that. All right, so I have my wool mat over here. Now we're just going to press it towards the C. So I'm just going to move these towards the C, towards the C, and towards the C. Then we're going to skip down and do the next row. I mean, skip down, not this one, because that one needs to be pressed that direction, but I'm going to press this one towards the C the same way. Just knocking these seams this direction. And I am right-handed, so we're going to flip it around like this and press them towards the C again. Such an easy quilt to do, and it's so appropriate for a picnic. I totally see why they call this the picnic quilt, because it's not one that I would be like, oh my goodness, I don't want to sit on it. Not having that issue at all. And then we'll do the same thing with this guy. And just press these seams this direction. Really nothing special about the way that this is going together. That is hot. Okay. Now we are going to nest these seams and sew the rows together. I'm going to throw some pins in there for good measure. So I'm going to take this and flip it down and make sure that the seams are going in opposite directions and just pin away. Now remember, my blocks are 5-ish. The gold and blue, the navy blue ones are definitely 5 inches. However, the colored squares with these flowers on them are not exactly. So we've had to move some stuff around, shift it, and be okay with how it measures out, because it was a gift and they weren't exactly 10 inches. I think they were hand cut. But what they are is gorgeous. So we use them anyway, and we are not going to fret. It's okay. Be fine. Now I'm going to sew down this way and come back and do it again. So I have just sewn this row here. I'm just going to open that up and roll this one down. And I'm going to pin again. It is time for me to get some new pins, guys. I have bent and sewn over these guys and chipped them and everything else, and they just don't go through as smoothly as they used to. It is time. I love those little, I think they call them dollhouse pins. They're just super duper fine. And I don't use them for my really big chunky like batting stuff all the time, but for just my regular good old piecing, absolutely. I'm just making sure these guys are nesting, and they are. Now that row has been sewn, and we are just going to sew this row. I'm having such a good time with this. So now it's all the rows are sewn together, and again we need to do this 9 times. For the layout, you need 4, no, that's wrong, you need 3 that will be where the rows, this seam will be pressed going toward the top. You need, and you can't rotate this one around, guys, so you got to do this properly. Then you need another 3 that are going to go this way and another 3 that are going to go that way. You can do this after you figure out your layout, if your fabric is directional or if you need to rotate them around. You can do that at the end. For me, because again it's non-directional and it's all the same, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to press 6 this row and this row going up, and 3 of them going down. And how do I do that? I just put it like this, and I'm going to, this is my right hand, and I'm just going to press all of them going that way. Sometimes people ask, what do you do when you catch your seam? I thought I had these pinned down pretty good, and I do everywhere except for right here and right here. I just clip the seam. I just open it up. What do I mean? I caught it, and I like my quilts to lay pretty flat for my long armor or myself if I'm going to be quilting it. So I'm just going to slide this in and just clip it at a diagonal angle, not hitting the seams. And that just opens that up so that that can lay the direction that it's supposed to. And I think I have one right here. I'm just going to clip it at a diagonal and let it lay the direction it's supposed to. It happens sometimes. And again, this is not going to a show. It's going underneath my bottom at a picnic. So no worries there. If it was going to a show, I might open that back up, but eh. So now I'm going to take all these rows that I've just sewn and just make them all go this way. And I just give it a little something. So that it will lay nice and flat for quilting. She looks good. And I'm going to just push that up so we're still on this mat. You guys do that after you finish ironing? Do you put your hand on your fabric? It's a thing. Totally do it. And then I flip it over and give it a nice press. And that will be the end of this block here. We are all done. Just make sure it's laying nice and flat. Oh, it's hot. And that's that. All done. All right, let's do this, what, a few more times? So we are all finished with the block number ones now. I'm finding that because these all look so similar, I mean, they look so similar, that it's important to kind of mark these. So these are the 6 that are all pressed toward the top. Then these are the 3, and I'm just going to throw a wonder clip on them to keep them together. And now that all of our blocks are sewn, we can put this puppy together next week. Yay!